Hi, I'm Graham. I'm a golfer who's passionate about technology and also a caddie in the north coast of Ireland. Me and my team are on a journey to create an app for the golf caddying industry, and while we're at it, we want to speak to as many interesting people creating exciting projects within the golf industry. I believe the future of this game is bright, my friends, and this is the Future of Golf podcast. Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to the Future of Golf podcast, where we talk to interesting figures who are working on interesting projects in the game of golf. This is our first episode today, and I'm delighted to have Ryan, who is the founder of Birdie Token. I caught Ryan in a good time in between delivery shifts, and he actually has access to a laptop. We were going to do it yesterday, Ryan, but
yes,
we did it on the laptop today.
yes, definitely would have been much easier to do on the laptop than my phone inside the mail truck yesterday.
Yeah, as it's the laptop is probably the better of the two evils. I mean, it'd be great to
Yes.
be in person.
Hmm.
I like in person podcasts myself as well because there's something quite intimate about like two people in a room and being able to talk.
Hmm.
But you know, it'd be tough to
Yeah.
catch a flight to America.
Yeah, as I was say, the world right now is a little crazy, so we just got to do what we can and try to communicate and connect any way we can. And these, virtual meetings and virtual podcasts seem to be a good avenue for a lot of people to kind of get, the woes of the world off of their shoulders and, hopefully relate to some people. I really like these podcasts and these, things that a lot of people kind of opened up their mind to a lot more things in this pandemic. So it's pretty cool for people to learn. But obviously, we want things to get back to normal as quickly as possible so everyone can kind of go about living their normal lives and get back to doing what they love the most.
Yeah, sure. And where are you based currently?
I'm actually in Florida. I'm in Central Florida on the East Coast. Right here by the Cape where they launch rockets off about once every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, so the whole Elon Musk thing and crypto, like hits home with it. I can jump outside my front door and watch a rocket launch every once a month probably, so pretty cool.
That's amazing. And from what I've seen, I mean, obviously, I'd be a little bit further away from it in Ireland. Ireland, there has been emerging technologies coming out of that, and there has been
Hmm.
founders like the guys from Stripe. I don't know if you've
Hmm.
heard of that, the Collision Brothers. And Ireland is definitely coming up in the startup scene, but again, America is just doing it in a different scale.
Yeah, it's just
But yeah, I mean, is there a bit of a movement from sort of these places like San Francisco and Florida? I've heard there's a bit of a movement to Texas.
yeah, because of with Elon Musk having SpaceX and everything, his big operations are going towards his Texas thing where he has with his Starship program. That's going to be the next thing where he's launching. What he launches now are a lot smaller rockets, and he can launch a lot more with that super heavy program that he's got going on in Texas right now. And it's just the whole us being coastal, Texas being coastal. It's just really sets up for space travel. So anything on the coast is prime real estate. So when you are launching rockets, you're not launching them over land, and you're launching them over the sea in case something does unfortunately happen. So
Yeah, absolutely. And in your world, and the reason that we're sat down today is obviously there's a launch or something else heading to the moon.
yes, hopefully soon. Yes, the Birdie Token project, like you kind of touched on, it was basically when I had an injury about 6 months ago from golf, hook of hamate injury. Not sure if you can probably see a scar with it all washed out, but there's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
scar up on my hand here from not quite sure, just at the range one day, and it popped, almost like felt like someone shot a gun at my hand or something. A couple more times, okay, this is concerning. I need to go to the doctor. Come to find out, I broke a little bone in your hand, which I guess is pretty common within golfers, baseball players, people play tennis, to get this, injury. So that cost me about 10 weeks of time out of work. And from there, I kind of dove into the crypto scene, with all my time out of work. And then, the real big thing was the utility aspect of crypto was kind of still not there yet. And I was just thinking, I'm like, golf is the typical, like, people love golf and the niche parts of it and things like that. If we can basically build utility around the game of golf and make golf and crypto easier for people to get into, like, that was kind of the whole basis of the project.
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously I'm conscious some of the listeners today maybe they're sort of getting into their crypto journey,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe they haven't, maybe they haven't purchased any crypto, maybe they haven't purchased an
Yeah.
NFT. So if you want to even dive down to like the very basics of it, and sort of, from looking at your website and from diving into your Discord, it seems that your mission is to connect the golf industry and the crypto industry together through
Mm-hmm.
your currency and also
Yes.
platform. So I guess what was the inspiration for you to go down that path? And then do you want to talk about sort of how the use of your platform could be beneficial for golfers, I guess?
Okay, so the first you're thinking the beneficial for golfers would be we're trying to offer basically an e-commerce store throughout our ecosystem where our token's the fuel to where you'll be able to buy, clubs from any manufacturer, our merchandise, just any sort of apparel from, say, smaller golf companies who want to open up their market to, say, a crypto friendly market to where people, instead of using their cash, they want to use their crypto to, buy golf clubs and stuff. And we're trying to on ramp that to where it becomes you can use your crypto to do anything in golf. So like our wallet app, eventually we want to evolve that to where it's in, clubhouses to where you're basically a clubhouse has the clubhouse version of our app and they're taking crypto for payment and our token would give you a discount per se because you're using our token and that's the incentive to invest and to keep the ecosystem and the fuel to keep it going. And we're also going to have on-course betting DApp that we'll have that's all ran by smart contracts, which is, kind of deep diving into the crypto thing, which we'll do after this. But so there's that as well. And then there's also with the NFT platform we want to plan at the end of the year is just another reason where our token becomes just the fuel for the ecosystem. Where if you want to list your NFTs on our marketplace, say versus like an OpenSea, you would be using our tokens with smaller gas fees versus say like an Ethereum and an OpenSea, which is their gas fees right now are something that's quite talked about in the community and people dislike.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so with the
I suppose just to butt in there, are you launching your NFTs on sort of a separate marketplace, or are you going to use a network like an Ethereum or Solana to list
we'll
them?
probably be when we do our NFTs, like I said, we're going to try to do a whole NFT platform like launch to where you can basically list your NFTs. And it's going to be from the Ethereum, the BNB network, Manic. Those are the three big ones at first. And obviously, we want to grow into the Solanas and the things, the up and coming chains as well. But our marketplace won't be necessarily we'll launch an NFT or a NFT series as well, probably around the time. But we're more looking to be the platform for people to launch their stuff on. And that's more or less where our program and our project is more of a Web3, on ramp for people to basically start their journey into crypto.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose for myself, like I'm on this crypto journey with you, and I've
Yeah.
invested into the space maybe for the past 6 months to a year.
Mm-hmm.
I guess what I've been doing is just observing projects and diving into Discord and seeing how
Mm-hmm.
different communities function. And at least from my perspective, the really strong communities are the ones that are able to actually create sort of a vibrant community around the product. So people are going
Mm-hmm.
back and forth in Discord, sharing ideas. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and secondly, being able to provide real world value. So why they're
Yeah.
providing some sort of membership, some sort of real life thing. And I think for people, NFTs are still a very sort of
Mm-hmm.
abstract concept. So having like
Yes.
a digital art piece
Mm-hmm.
on your phone and that being valuable, like for me at the start, I was sort of skeptical of that. But then
Mm-hmm.
once I saw the use cases of it and saw how practical these things actually are,
Mm-hmm.
it turned my mind. So I guess from that perspective, are you thinking of creating sort of real world value for your community as well as building out this currency?
Yeah, because that's basically if you can buy and sell, say, these discounted golf equipment, discounted merchandise, discounted, that becomes the ecosystem for our raffle DApp and all this. That's what gives it real life value. You're giving it, value through it gives you discounts for golf equipment and then discounts for, say, these smaller indie golf brands who want to like I said, was their customer base to a whole crypto customer base to where, it's not just you're only giving it value because you can use it in this small section, but you can use it through the whole golf industry. And like I said, eventually with the whole golf course thing, we want to have it to where you're using it to book tee times, to where you're booking full on golf resort stays with it, to where we're basically the golf token of the whole golf ecosystem, which is $100 billion industry. Like there's quite a bit of money in golf. And, if we can basically mainstream peer-to-peer transactions without, all this middlemen and it seems like from when I've spoken to like some of the club pros and some of the people in golf that it's still kind of archaic. Just everything seems to not want to be one of catching up because of just the stigma of golf being, the classic game that no one really wants to change. But with COVID and everything, I feel like the youth coming into the game and like the things like Top Golf and the 5-iron golf's really bringing the fun and stuff to golf is really going to open up crypto for golf as well.
Yeah. And even over in the UK and the Republic of Ireland, there's been a massive movement towards launching Top Golf driving ranges. And I know that's already massive in the States.
Oh, yes.
They're popping up everywhere in the UK. And it's such a fun experience because you don't necessarily have to be into golf to go there.
That's exactly.
You can bring your friends. You can go for a pint or a drink there as well.
And that's kind of where we... Yeah. Exactly. And that's kind of where we're at with, our crypto wallet coming out. Like, yeah, we're a golf centered cryptocurrency, and all that, but our wallet will benefit anyone who uses cryptocurrency because we'll have multiple chains swap on the wallet, like things like if you want to swap, say for like a tether for Ethereum, you can swap it right on our app. You can purchase crypto right on our app. So just things like that, making everything more mainstream and easier for people to basically get into the space is what we're after.
Yeah. And I suppose while you've been on this crypto journey, I'm sure there's been, even in this short time period, I know myself with the startup journey, there's a lot of highs and lows, as well as that you're obviously working another job. So how have you sort of managed the sort of wear and tear of starting a company? Has there been any real highlights or any lowlights, or let's talk to me a bit about that.
I mean, I've had some people reach out to me who want to do some articles that are from bigger publications, which becomes, that's prideful to me that people are kind of paying attention to that. And, with, like you said, working the other job, it does get taxing. Like there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. You're basically working however many hours you work your normal job. And then you're coming home from the second you get home to when you go to bed to try to take care of everyone, in your project, because, that's what you're here for. You're the leader of it. You're not here to just basically give it off the responsibility to everyone else, which, there's blockchain's supposed to be about accountability, but it just seems like that lacks so much in this space because of, you hear it all the time, rug pulls, this and that. Like, it's crazy how much accountability doesn't get taken in a space where technology is literally meant completely around accountability.
Yeah. And as far, it's sort of an interesting point as well. How did you assign roles for your team? So in your team, was it people that really contributed in a meaningful way to Discord? Did they sort of ask for a role, or how do you look for valuable members to, I guess, join a crypto project would be my question.
Honestly, that's going to be one of the toughest things because, you're trying to find these people that are just like you, they're working their 9-to-5s and, they don't want to, they might not see what you see in your project because, oh, that's his project. Why would I work nearly as hard for his project as I can just do something for myself, essentially? But there's a couple of us that have really been, just really nose to the grindstone. My tech guy, who's basically fronted all the wallet stuff, he's been, the probably number one contributor. And, in a Web3 tech company, I feel like that's where our strength needs to be, is in our technical side. So right now it's just, and we have a couple community managers that kind of help us out, and they just see an opportunity in some projects. But with us growing sort of organically, it's probably not gone as quick as I'd like it to. But again, we don't have the push quite yet of the marketing that something, say, like a Links DAO has. Like, they have the big push and stuff like that. They're going to be able to use that, and that's, to their advantage. It's good marketing. You can't blame them for that.
Absolutely.
So
it was funny. I saw the original tweet they put up where they put up the little Google Docs where one could go in and edit. And I had it at the start, and I've been involved with the community ever since. And it's crazy that a company can raise $10 million in a matter of weeks to go build a golf course. So I suppose, do you think that will now set a precedent for the industry? Do you think other other, and I think I saw something. It was like a token farm golf club.
Yeah, there's a Token Farm, there's a Frank's Golf Club, there's a couple of them that have popped up with pretty similar ideas, and that's where kind of we were, trying to be different from that case because we kind of thought of that at first too about like a membership, maybe not to like a golf course, but maybe to like almost like a 5-iron golf type deal, which oddly enough, Links DAO did their membership with them. That was pretty cool. And, so basically something like that at first. And then I'm like, you know what, that's a lot of governance and stuff. And, I just feel like what we're doing is just more wide stream and can go completely towards the golf industry. Like anyone can go buy the tokens and go buy golf clubs and get golf clubs sent to them,
Yeah.
So.
And yeah, shout out Linkstyle if there's any
yes.
of Linkstyle as well. I would love, chatting to a guy in that. I would love to have one of the founding members or even someone involved on the podcast as well at some point. That'd be a really interesting conversation. What I've noticed as well, it seems that there's a lot of sort of collaboration on Twitter, and everyone's sort of nearly almost getting involved in each other's projects and really boosting that on. So would you actually dive into other Discords apart from Birdie Token, or would you chip in and try and help others?
Yeah, I mean, right now with our platform, say our NFT platform, we're eventually going to hold NFTs within our wallet. We want to support all the projects we can. From the get-go, Pixel Links was one that we supported. They're on the Cardano, which is, for whatever reason, a lot of people don't mess with Cardano for, God knows whatever reason. So we've done a bunch of stuff with them. The Token Farm guys, we've done a little bit with them, they've kind of asked us a little bit here and there, and we've kind of just helped them a little bit. They're definitely gung-ho as well. The Rich Gators Country Club is another one. There's a couple of them. There's no reason to bring anyone, like, if all these NFTs offer different things, why are you going to go after people, or if these tokens offer different things, and I don't see the reason to share the cannibalism type thing where you see in the crypto space a lot, where these bigger projects are just after each other because they're just after each other's bags, I guess. I don't know. It don't seem like the proper way to go about it to me.
Yeah. A funny story actually about the Pixel Links. So I was diving into, I can't remember what Discord it was. It might have actually been yours, or it might have been Links.
Yeah.
But the guy, or one of the creators of Pixel Links, who plays golf in our Glass Golf Club, which would literally be like an hour from my house. And I met him in the Discord, and we sort of chatted from there. And, I suppose not to talk about myself, but we launched a little app in our Glass Golf Club this year. So I thought it was crazy, like the synergy of
small world,
global Discord, like meeting someone that's in our. I thought that was incredible.
Yeah.
It's sort of noticeable. It's like, I guess with the pandemic, it's been driven as well. It's like barriers around the world seem to be shrinking. Like these decentralized autonomous organizations, there's an opportunity there to collaborate from someone in a completely different sphere from you, might come from a completely different background, and it seems a very accepting place for people to share ideas. I suppose a question in that is, how much input does the community then have to the decisions that a Birdie Token makes? Like, do they have a little stake in sort of your white paper and where you're actually heading with the project?
I mean, in a sense, not in like a DAO sense where there's voting rights per se, but if we have something, we always are open to community engagement and stuff like that, that we're never going to, if 95% of the community wants something and it's something that's viable and isn't going to hurt the project, we'll go for it. And there are dApps and things to where you can use our tokens to where you can basically set up a governance, like voting concept, where you put the tokens into a dApp and it can give you a voting rights as well. So we can technically structure as a DAO in a way, but at the same time, we're not, because we're a utility token that we're going to be transacting, to and from for, say, golf clubs, for tee times, resorts and stuff. But there are ways that we can kind of constitute having a DAO in a sense to where we can set dApps up to do that. But as of right now, it's just basically a community driven in the sense of if, suggestions come up and like, hey, this is a good idea, we're not going to shun it out. These things are meant to be fluid and is, to be community driven as possible. But at the same time, we can't, if the communities just say, let's do this, this, that, and that's not possible and something that's, not viable, we can't do that. And, we're not going to give that false hope that these things that are not doable are doable, just to, build something up that can be done.
Yeah. And I suppose that is one of the concerns of the DAO, is that does giving everyone their say and everyone their little chip, does that create some sort of anarchist society in which
Yeah.
everyone's going in different directions and there's not one sort of powerful leader to almost guide the
Hmm.
ship towards that direction? I suppose, do you have an opinion on that, as far as like how these crypto projects can be, yes, we have the input of people in the community and we value that, but it can still move progressively forward. And I suppose a Links DAO is an example of that. That was literally organically created by a community, and they managed to put that energy in the right direction to create something. I guess, how do you see like sort of DAOs working positively and actually creating cool stuff?
I mean, in the sense of it's just in what type of, not everything I feel on my mind needs to be decentralized. Like there's just certain things to where, like, I'm not going to say this golf course thing isn't, because you can definitely make it, you can make decisions that can take the whole community. But like, if some of this community, like where they're trying to build this course is like, there's literally laws against what they're trying to do, like, sorry, we can't do this, So I'm sure all their decisions will be within, the rules and laws of what they bring up. But then at that case, who's the one coming up with the 4 or 5 ideas to vote on?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, is it ever a DAO in reality? In my opinion, maybe not, because if these people are bringing up the 4 or 5 issues that are getting voted on, then who's just making those decisions? So on certain things like this golf course, like say we want to add XYZ simulators and we want to add certain smaller things, those types of aspects, I think they can definitely work and they can be, part of the membership stuff. But like the nitty gritty everyday, like operations, I feel like need to be taken care of by people who understand what it takes to take care of those things.
Yeah. There's a certain argument there to competence is key in that
Mm.
scenario when you need leaders. You're not going to build
Hmm.
a web product without software engineers.
Yeah.
You can't outsource that to someone who may
Yeah.
have
Someone.
built in a golf course. And I think that's where it could be valid, is if you can find
Hmm.
people with specific skills who can fit into different rules nicely. I think that's
Yeah.
where it can work. As you say, it's just getting the right people for the rules.
Yeah, exactly. It's just,
Yeah.
it can all work. It's just a matter of getting the right people in there, just like with anything. It's just,
Yeah.
if you can, have people who kind of put the egos away and just, want to get the common goal taken care of, then there's no bickering, just get the job done. And, assigning roles and stuff like this just, it gets weird when you have 9,000 people, and what if 51% of people say they want something and 49 say they don't, that's a pretty close, thing there. You're going to upset 49% of your people in a sense, so it gets iffy, I guess.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, quick transition, but I mean, I
Hmm.
seen you said in your site, you mentioned about sort of charity and giving back was an
Hmm.
important part of what you're doing. So do you want to
Hmm.
touch on that? And I suppose on your charitable efforts, and then I guess how you see the crypto industry maybe as a means to giving back to people as well.
Yeah, actually, so our charity thing is with, I'm going to be going to the Arnold Palmer in March. So I'll be basically trying to, from here until March, we're basically going to be trying to get as much, probably through a operations wallet, to where we can put like 1% of our tax to, say, like a charitable wallet, to where at the Arnold Palmer we can try to mainstream, these charities taking crypto, which I know St. Jude recently just took, a big crypto, you know, uh, charitable thing from, who was it from? But I know they took crypto as a charitable, donation. So if we're trying to mainstream stuff like that with the, say, the Arnold or the Winnie Palmer Children's Hospital and things like that around here first, and then from there we can just branch out. And what we're trying to do is just mainstream these charities being able to take crypto as donations to be able to help people out. That it's not just, this fake internet money that everyone wants to call it. That this is, something you can use to actually help people. This is real life things that, we can use to get resources for these people in these hospitals, and especially at a time like now where, we need it the most.
Yeah, great to hear. And do you think people in the crypto space, like, what do you think their motivations currently are at the minute? Do you think the majority are in for purely financial gain, or is it?
Yeah, I'm going to assume it's probably 90-10. If you ask 90% of people who deal with crypto what a blockchain was, I'm going to assume they probably have no clue, because what they're seeing is it's a vital market that they can play. And they're used to watching the stock market go up 1%, 2% a week, and then they go into this and like, oh, what is this project, has hype, this and that. And it's that's what people follow around, just hoping for that 100x, 200x. And then most of the time you don't make that, and then you just get stuck chasing the dragon, and you're just chasing your tail. And that's why we try to do things like we have an audit on our smart contract, lock our liquidity pool, just things to keep our investors safe. And what real life investors who look into a project will see, like, hey, these people are taking the right steps to keep their investors safe, to make sure that their smart contract can't be exploited and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just amusing. Like, the whole thing I saw on Twitter, it was like, Dogecoin was obviously the massive meme coin, and then it moved to
Mm-hmm.
Shiba, and then Mongoose coin was massive
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Yeah, they're
Um,
just.
but yeah, it's amazing how much can be built on hype,
Mm-hmm.
really.
Yeah.
And like, obviously there is an argument there that Doge has some sort of intrinsic value in itself, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's certainly an interesting time. But I think the thing that's drawn me in, and obviously what I intend to learn more about, is this sort of community impact. So how crypto
Mm-hmm.
can be used to provide real life value. And it's as you say, it's not just this coin where you throw in
Yeah.
a bit and hope for the 100x, but
Yeah.
it's, let's go meet like minded people.
Yeah.
I guess that's why I started the podcast as well, is to
Mm-hmm.
people like you. And obviously I'm here to learn as much as the rest of our viewers are about projects like yourself.
Mm-hmm.
um so yeah, I think the community side of it, at least from my perspective, is the more interesting side of it, not just
Yeah.
the
Nitty
fluff.
gritty.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, that's like I said, these projects are basically community driven. Like you're saying, those are the people who give it value. The Mark Cubans who take it at his arena, the Elon Musks who take Dogecoin for Tesla merchandise, that now gives it value. Like you can't call it a meme coin anymore. I can go to Tesla and I can buy merchandise. It's a currency. Just like, say, you could use our tokens to buy, say, clubs or merchandise. It's just giving things utility to where it's not just digital currency on your phone. I can trade this stuff for physical assets and actually use it. And that's our goal, is to basically give our token and our ecosystem as much use as possible, to basically let people on ramp themselves into crypto, as into, hey, this is what it is. Like, it isn't just the magic internet money. It's you invest. You can learn through the depths of DeFi of how it compounds and reflects tokens back into you through smart contracts. So there's just a lot that DeFi and smart contracts, as far as investing goes, can really help investors that aren't even into golf.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I suppose looking into the future now, Ryan, I guess, like all projects, there's a little bit of a sort of adoption curve. So you have your
Hmm.
initial users, and then eventually, if the project or thing is good enough, then it is adopted by the entire market.
Hmm.
Um, where do you see, I guess, Birdie Coin and crypto being on that curve right now? And then take me to sort of the 5, 10, 15 year sort of play, and where you see yourself sitting and integrating within the golf industry. Deep question,
Gotcha.
but
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So as far as the token, what we're doing now is our wallet will be the real big first, outside of our token will be something to show that, hey, with, look what they're doing with, smaller team, with, limited resources compared to some projects, what they're producing. So once we can produce that in our Birdie wallet, that'll be our first real big splash, to where, we can start on ramping people. Gets a lot easier to buy our token and stuff. So from there, it makes things simpler for everyone to just not even just buy our token, but that's any swap of tokens, because we have a DEX aggregator built into our wallet, which basically scans 500 decentralized exchanges for the best price on tokens, finds it, and then trades it without any slippage or the lowest amount of fees. That's all built straight into our wallet. So like stuff like that will be our real big, first. And then at the end of the year, you see on our roadmap is our concept, which is basically a 5-iron golf type thing, with our token being just basically the ecosystem that fuels the whole thing. To where like you're paying for your food, you're paying for your bays, you're paying for the obviously our golf clubs that'll be in there. Everything will be interactive through our app and our token, just like it would be throughout, hopefully clubhouses. And like mentioned before, we want to be the payment processor for the whole, industry of golf. Like it's archaic. It doesn't, it's everyone I talk to seems that like the ordering stuff is just always the old systems of just all these older clubhouses just aren't up to speed with anything. So if we can speed them up and get them into this on these peer-to-peer transactions where they can cut out a middleman and just basically have a smart contract that takes 10-15 cents a transactions versus say like $4 or $5 in a credit card, then we're doing our job to help them on ramp crypto and obviously quicker transactions and just completely take out the whole third party and making everything decentralized to where we're both responsible and there's no third party to have to deal with.
Yeah. And I suppose for sort of general society, or even for like people like myself and you, like most people would have to see like where's the tangible real world value in that. So where do you see that sort of complete like core, if you could summarize it in like a sentence as to why just a normal golfer or a golf club would want to get involved with something like this?
I mean, right now it's basically rebranding themselves to be, more modern and get with the times, I would say, and try to be ahead of everything would be the way, is how I would
and I know
because
I'm devil's advocate here, but I'm just
yeah,
conscious for the viewers,
100%.
people like, they might not be educated. Like I'm still on the very start of my crypto journey, and like I'm really asking these questions selfishly to get more myself.
These are
So
the questions that need to be asked, though, and these are the questions as investors that we, encourage and we want to, and, basically educate people as to what we're doing. And, if people don't ask these questions and they blindlessly chase that hype, and then that's when they end up holding the bag. So that's where we invite all these types of questions. Devil advocate, that gives us another direction to look at things. Again, that's why everything gets to be fluid. And if someone brings up a concern that we're going this way and they're like, hey, that's not going to work, and we can look at it from a different perspective, then we're for it. So
love it.
Yeah.
And would you play a bit of golf yourself then? Do you get much time in your free time
yeah, I play a little bit of golf. I'm probably about a 12 handicap. I'm not all that good. So, and then like I said, with the hand injury I had at the beginning of this year, I haven't got to play too much. Like I said, I'll shoot the low 80s every so often and then fire off a good 95 like the best of them. So
yeah, like everyone golfs up and
yeah,
down.
yeah.
But yeah, no, that was absolutely fascinating, Ryan, to learn your point of view. And if someone wanted to, I guess, they may not want to buy Birdie Token straight away, but if they wanted to get involved in your community or Discord to find a bit more about it, how would they do that?
I mean, our Twitter will have our Discord. Our website has all of our socials on it. So basically we have Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Instagram. We have all the socials, and that's all straight on our website at the very top. Every link will take you straight to one of our websites, as well as we have our white paper. Everything as far as information on the website is straight, like the very first thing you see on our website. So if you can just birdietoken.io, and like I said, it'll have all our socials from there. You can join our Discord, and that'll have the announcements section in our Discord is where a lot of, the updates go. So if you want to know what's been going on over the last couple of weeks, well, we said we're day 60 is actually today. So 2 months today of, being operational. So we're right on the toes of getting our wallet out way before schedule, which is nice. So we'll still, got to iron out everything and make sure it's going to be a quality product. But the Arnold Palmer was the goal for that. So we'll see, because we want to have a big marketing push there in person with all our swag on and ball markers with QR codes and just everyone with the app in their hand, just, trying to get it out there as much as possible.
Cool. And yeah, if you want to join myself and Ryan, I'm sure the links will be in the description. This will be published on YouTube. So come along and join the Birdie Gang. So yeah, Ryan, thank you very much for taking the time. Absolute pleasure. And yeah, I will be involved and following your project very intently over the next few months.
Thank you so much, man.
Bye. Thanks for watching the episode of this podcast. If you've made it this far, you can continue the fun on Discord, our Twitter, and also subscribe to this YouTube channel.